Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with another movie review. I just got through watching the film the SnowMan. And every time I hear that title, I keep thinking of the Courage the Cowardly Dog episode where there's an evil snowman. He has like Sean Connery's type voice and he's always like, the name's mine, SnowMan. But anyway, I know this is based off of a book that's actually supposed to be really good. I've never read the book, so I don't know anything about comparison-wise to the book, so I'm just judging this as a film. As a movie, I'd give this 2.5 stars. This is a thriller detective story with Michael Fassbender as a cop, and him and his woman have pretty much split up. She's with this new guy. He's a doctor, and he's like an over-the-hill alcoholic burnout cop, really. And his woman has a kid, and he's not the boy's father, I don't think. The movie never really makes it totally clear whether he's the kid's father or not. Basically, the killer in the movie is killing women who cheat on their husbands or boyfriends, I guess, is what it is. Because he was a kid whose mom slept around with a man or something like that, and who was actually his uncle, I believe, and his uncle was really his father. And then she went off chasing after him one day when he said he didn't want nothing to do with him. And he was in the vehicle with his mom, and they slid out on the ice, and she wound up killing herself and left him all alone. So now he's going out punishing other women for doing the same type similar thing to their kids or whatever, of messing up their kid's life or whatever, or making it more complicated. So he's punishing the moms in the movie. It's a neat idea. I would like more information on Michael Fassbender's character. I guess he's an alcoholic is what the movie's getting at, but I would have liked a little bit more information into him. He's kind of a little blank. The movie offers up a couple of suspects in the movie, like every now and then, but the strongest suspect in the film is pretty much the new guy in his woman's life, the doctor dude or whatever. And kind of find out at the end he is the killer. Big spoiler there. And I did kind of see that coming because there's a scene when Michael Fassbender is going to investigate some leads, and he's on a train, and right there's the doctor dude, and he's like, coincidentally, I'm heading towards a conference or whatever. And it's like, oh, yeah, if you know anything about thrillers, that's automatically a red herring right there. You're like, yeah, conference my ass. But anyway, at the same time, I started thinking maybe the movie won't be that obvious, and it's just kind of threw him out there, put him in there as a red herring. And then at the end of the movie, he does turn out to be the killer, but it didn't really hurt the movie for me because he was the most logical, likely suspect, and the movie gave enough other red herrings to where by the time it did get revealed to be him, even though it was kind of obvious, it didn't really bother me too much. You don't really get to see a lot of the kills. A lot of the blood and stuff is off screen. He has like this device where it's got like a tightrope or something attached to it, and it goes around the neck, and he pushes it. It's like a gun, and it tightens onto the neck. It's like razor wire or something, and it slits the head clean off. Actually kind of cool. I would have liked a little bit more blood, but yeah, you get what you get. J.K. Simmons is in the movie as kind of a throwaway character. He doesn't really do anything. He just plays like this doctor that works at a clinic. He's a suspect, and kind of find out, of course, it's not him. You get a subplot in here with Val Kilmer, who is a cop in the past who was investigating this killer, and he came close to catching him until he was actually killed by the killer, and the killer made it look like a suicide. You get kind of the same cliches in here of like Michael Fassbender's boss, like, hey, what's his name? What have you been doing? You're drunk again, or whatever, the kind of the hard-hitting boss. And of course, there's this other guy who's a suspect, and the killer tries to pin the murders on him, and he makes it look like the dude committed suicide with a shotgun, and Michael Fassbender's like explaining, or a rifle or whatever, and Michael Fassbender's explaining how this wouldn't work. And then, of course, the sergeant is like, we'll wait for the real experts, buddy, okay? And obviously, Michael Fassbender's character's right. So it's like a cliche of like no one believes him, even though we know he's telling the truth as the audience watching the movie. And he's got a rookie partner, or not so much a rookie, but a new partner who's a girl. And you think they're going to make like a love type story with him in it. And they actually never do, which I thought was kind of nice because it would have been too predictable. And I was dreading that the whole movie. And, she ends up actually, come to find out, she's Val Kilmer's kid, which I thought was a neat little twist. I didn't see that coming. And she's investigating, wanting to find out what happened to her father because she knows he wouldn't have killed himself. And she actually gets caught by the killer towards the climax of the movie, which I didn't see coming, and he slices off her finger and uses it to get into police files and everything. And he actually kills her. She actually dies. I really didn't see that coming. I thought that was actually a neat surprise. We get to the end, we find out the killer is the new man in his ex-woman's life, and he has her and the boy hostage, and he's going to kill her. And he breaks into the place. He finds out where the killer is, and he wants to take him down. One little neat thing is that the killer kind of leaves SnowMan behind every time he kills somebody. It does get to be a little gimmicky, though, after a while. And it is kind of funny seeing a snowman with a sad face after a while. I just started kind of laughing, to be honest. But it was kind of cool at first. Michael Fassbender gets in a fight with the killer, trying to save... I still don't know if the boy's his son. He might as well be. But anyway, saving the boy and his ex-woman. And the rope thing or whatever that the killer has, the weapon, gets caught on Michael Fassbender's finger. He sacrificed his finger to help the woman, help his ex-woman or whatever. And it slices off, I think it was his pinky finger on his right hand. And he gets in a fight with the killer. The killer manages to get away. He chases after the killer. They get out in the middle of the snow. And the killer shoots him. And he has the upper hand on Michael Fassbender. He's going to kill him. Michael Fassbender keeps golding him or whatever. And he comes up to Michael Fassbender. He gets ready to take the shot, and you find out it's a trick. And he's walked up close, real close to him, and there's a hole in the ice. And he takes another step and falls through it. Which I like the idea because the guy's mom, when she committed suicide when he was a kid, she pretty much drowned herself in ice water. And here it's kind of like a playback on that. Now he suffered the same fate as his mom did. But at the same time, it makes the killer kind of look stupid. I get the idea it's supposed to be a surprise, like, he thinks he has the upper hand, but, oh shit, slipped, fell on the ice. But at the same time, though, this guy's like so methodical, it didn't feel earned to me, because it felt like he should have been watching the ground at the same time and been a little bit more cautious than this. It felt kind of like a throwaway death. The movie could have had a little bit more drama to the investigation and more epicness to it, and I would have bought more of the emotional weight of him falling into the ice. It feels like this movie's had some stuff cut out of it to where a director's cut probably could help it. And then at the end of the movie, you hear there's like this guy going off on cases and talking about this murder or whatever, and you hear somebody tapping on a cup, and you look over there, and it's Michael Fassbender with a metal pinky finger tapping on his coffee cup, and he's like, "I'll take it," talking about the new case. So I thought it was kind of a funny ending. All in all, it's an alright movie. If I read the book, I'd probably hate the film, because I heard the book was like awesome, and to just get like an alright film out of an awesome book is pretty much of a letdown. As is, the film is directed decently to well. It's not a bad movie, but it's just forgettable. There's not really... The investigation is just not too interesting in the movie. It's kind of a little boring at times. And just... There's some... there's one or two little lengthy spots where what's happening isn't really interesting. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more blood or gore, or a little bit more of killing. Feels like the film's had a little bit, some of it chopped out of it. But as is, it's a slightly below average flick. Like a late night thriller I'd watch once and never see again. It's an alright film. I'd probably buy it if I found it for like $2 maybe or something. It's not a terrible film. It's just not something I'd ever be interested in watching again. So I'll see you guys again with the next review.